Hi guys, and welcome to episode 5 of my new YouTube series, How to Start a Successful Online Jewelry Business. In this video we're going to be looking at how to create a website for your online jewelry business. But before we get started, if you do like this video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can help it grow and help lots more people. And with that said, let's get into the video. So when you're starting an online jewelry business, you really do want to create your own website or have your own website as the end goal, because it gives you the most control over your business online in terms of controlling the direction it's going to go, how you market it, how many sales you can get, things like that. You have far more control over running your own website than you do when you're selling on marketplaces such as Etsy or eBay. So that's why you want to create your own e-commerce site, especially if you're looking to sell online. If you're looking to just create an online business website, I'm going to cover that in a future video, but for this video we're focusing just about creating e-commerce sites. Now, before you even think about building a website, researching e-commerce platforms or anything like that, you need to do one important thing first, and that is you need to secure yourself a domain name. Now, your domain name is your digital or virtual address, however you want to say it, and it is what people will type into internet browsers such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox or Microsoft's Internet Explorer, if Internet Explorer exists or anybody even uses it anymore. But that's what people will type in. And when you are deciding on a domain name, there's a few kind of guidelines that you want to follow. Now, these aren't set rules, they're just guidelines and kind of best practices. Now, when you are looking for a domain name and trying to find a domain name, you really don't want it to be more than 3 words long. Ideally, you want it to be 1 or 2 words long. And the reason for this is it's easier for people to remember. If you start having 4, 5, 6 words, it's more likely that people are going to forget your domain name and are not going to type it in. So that's why you want to keep it to a maximum of 3 words. Ideally, you want to keep it to a maximum of 15 characters, but up to 20 characters is still okay. If it's longer than that, it's exactly the same problem as if you have too many words. People are more likely to forget it or possibly even spell things wrong if it's a bit too long. And when you're searching for domain names, you'll probably see lots of different suffixes. And these are the things at the end of your domain name, such as the .coms, the .co.uk's, available to you. And you really do just want to stick to the main one. So you want to stick to .com, which is kind of the global well-known suffix, and you also want your local one. So for here in the UK it'd be .co.uk, if you're in Germany it'd be .de, or if you're in Australia it'd be .com.au. So you want to secure the global one and your local one. Now, if your desired domain name isn't available, you don't want to go for an obscure suffix. So you don't want to go for .business or .jewels or .london or any of these really obscure ones, mainly for the reason that people aren't going to remember these and are more likely to just type in the .com or the .co.uk or whatever your local suffix is, because we've kind of been conditioned to do that over the years that we've been using the internet. So people aren't really going to remember if you've got a really obscure suffix. So if your desired domain name isn't available, then try a few alterations. And see if there's either, say for example, for me, if it was Paul Hayward Jewellery wasn't available, then I could go try for PH Jewellery, because this still fits with my brand and I can expand on that on the website. So I might have PH Jewellery as my domain name, but on my website I could quite easily advertise that the full name of the business is Paul Hayward Jewellery. So it still fits and it still works. And another thing you want to do is you want to have your domain name the same as your social media accounts, because it creates brand continuity. What I discussed in episode 1, branding, you want that brand continuity to run throughout every aspect of your business. So you want to start with your domain name, then you want all your social media accounts to be the same, because people are going to start creating that association. So you want to think of your domain name as part of your branding as well. So that's a few guidelines on how you can secure yourself your perfect domain name for your business. I will leave a link in the description below to an article I wrote on my website, thehaywardlife.com, which covers this in more detail. So once you've secured your domain name, you can now start thinking about building your actual website. Now, for e-commerce sites, I do always recommend that you use an e-commerce platform or a hosted e-commerce platform. And this is where you pay a company such as Shopify, BigCommerce, EKM, any of these kind of e-commerce platforms a monthly fee, and they provide you with hosting and a purpose-built e-commerce platform. And this just makes life so much easier, especially for people who don't really have much web knowledge, web building experience, or just complete novices to the online world. And the main reason is because they take care of all the technical side of the website. So things like managing the server, make sure it's working, make sure it's responsive, make sure it's fast. You don't have to worry about any of that because they take care of it. They also take care of the security side of the website as well. So they make sure that your servers are secure and that the back end of your website is secure, the admin area that you use. Now, with some solutions, you may have to buy your own SSL certificate, which is a certificate that you buy that goes on your website and tells your visitors that your website is secure. So whenever they're using the website or there's any kind of data transferring across your website, it shows them that you have taken another step to ensure that your website's secure. And it is that little icon, it's usually a padlock icon, especially on Google Chrome, that you see next to your domain name at the top. So if you typed, say for example, my website in, you would see that there's a little padlock at the top to say that the website is secure. Because if a customer visits your site and you haven't got an SSL certificate installed, they'll see those horrible 2 words at the top that says not secure. And if you have this, people are going to be less likely to buy from you because they won't see your site as being trustworthy. So that is why you should make sure that you have an SSL certificate on your site, whether it's included or you have to buy it on top of your hosting package. You still should make sure you have an SSL certificate. So as you don't have to focus on the technical side of running a website, you can instead put all of your attention onto the creative side of the website, which is things like tweaking the design, and most importantly is the sales and marketing side, which I'll cover more in the next video. But this is what's going to drive traffic and revenue to your website, and then if it comes to your website, it's going to go through your business, which is what you want, so you can grow and expand. Another benefit of using hosted e-commerce solutions is the fact that their learning curve is so much shallower than building your own website. As I said already, you don't have to focus on the technical aspects, you just have to focus on the customer facing aspects. But you are also offered support as well, usually in the form of email, live chat on their website, and also via the phone. And with some platforms, you also get your own dedicated account manager who you can contact whenever you have any issues, questions, or queries. And if they can't answer it themselves, they'll refer you to someone in the company who can answer your question. And that is absolutely fantastic, because if you build your own website using self-hosted software, if you run into issues, there's nobody you can just pick up the phone to and call, and you generally have to troll the internet to try and find the answer to your question, if there is an answer to your question. So that is why I recommend hosted e-commerce solutions over building your own websites with the likes of OpenCart or WooCommerce. But one of the main things when you are building your own website is you don't want to spend too much time making sure that your website looks perfect. Instead, you want to make sure your website looks nice, but you want to make sure, more importantly, it works well. And then you want to spend most of your time and effort on getting people to your website. Because it doesn't matter how good or fantastic your website is, if there's nobody visiting your site, it's not generating you any money. And at the end of the day, the most important thing you want your website to do is to generate you revenue. So you want to spend most of your time and effort on your sales and marketing, because you can always revisit the design of your site and tweak it at a later date. Instead, focus on getting the traffic to your website. So there you go, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope this has helped you kind of create a bit of a plan for building your own website. If you have enjoyed it, and especially if you've learned something, please hit the like button and the subscribe button so you get first access to all my new content. I will leave a link here somewhere to the rest of the episodes in this How to Start a Successful Online Jewelry Business playlist. And as I say, next week, going to be covering marketing. I hope you've enjoyed this, and have a great time, have a great week, and I'll see you all in the next video.